Hi, mystery writers. So today I want to talk about character context. So here we are at Write a Killer Mystery, and my name is Sarah Altair. I'm a mystery writer and coach, and context is, I think, the most important identifying characteristic for your character as you work on your character backgrounds and create your character Bible. You want to know how each character fits in your story. There are many background questionnaires and terms and lists for writers. You can search for them online about character backgrounds or character Bible. Some writers use 5-ring binders with tabs for each character, and some create files in Microsoft Word or Google Docs, and writing software like Scrivener or StoryShop have pre-formatted character sections to develop character background, from basic information to StoryShop has character interview questions, so you can go deep into your character's background. And this is all cool, and those are good things to do, but a novel is a long work of fiction, and characters appear in various stages in your story. And a character's background helps you remember a character at a quick reference when that character appears 50, 75 pages later, and you want to make sure you have the right details. You may have forgotten if the scar is on the right cheek or the left cheek, or if the character has blue or brown eyes if they're a minor character. But those are all details. A character background serves as a behavior reference as well, some from speech patterns and repetitive habits that they have to personality traits like shyness or aggression. And these traits help you keep your character's behavior consistent throughout your story. But the one big thing you need to know for each character, especially for beginning writers, this is so important, the one thing you can't forget is how that character fits in your story. And it's the reason that many beginning writers have too many characters, or there's a character that appears that's fun or quirky or malevolent. It doesn't matter, but they don't really do anything in the story except appear and have this personality as part of the story. So what is character context? Essentially, context is how the character fits in the story, and the character serves a role in moving the story forward. So context essentially works in two ways. One is how the character relates to each of the other characters. So you're deepening the relationships and you're creating these relationships in your story. And two, how the character fits in the framework of the story, and that's the place where oftentimes beginning writers don't have a real, I'll call it a story goal for that character. They're just kind of fun to write about, and they're there, but they're not essential to the story. So nailing down the context of your character helps you from creating two characters that essentially have the same role and could be one, because those characters can confuse readers. Character context makes your story cohesive from start to finish, and that's what you want, and that's what keeps readers reading. And so First of all, let's take a little quick look at the interpersonal relationships and the connections a character has. How a character reacts to other characters reveals their personality. So that keeps you from doing long, Joe is this and Joe is that. Um, Readers learn about that character by the way they interact with the other characters in your story. And when they pat someone on the back or avoid them on the street, you give the reader clues about the relationships. For example, if your main character speaks kindly to their neighbor in person and then gossips viciously about them behind their back, it tells readers something about their trustworthiness. So while you're working in your character Bible, list any relationships they have, the family, friendships, work relationships, and enemies. Don't forget the enemies. And know who supports them and who doesn't. And use these details in dialogue and action to reveal your character to your reader. It's so much better than information dumps or the horrible character looking in the mirror kind of stuff. That's just ick. You know, when you're using these details and creating interaction among the characters, it's so much more vivid for your reader. All right, and then the character's story role is so important. Context keeps you from having 2 or even 3 characters with the same story function. So streamlining the story function to one character, it reduces reader confusion. So a reader won't stop and wonder, wait, I thought Joe was the one who went out in the middle of the night. And because, whoa, you do not want your reader to stop. It's just the worst thing that can happen is when a reader stops and goes, well, why did the writer do this? You want to keep them reading. So story role is so important in keeping it clear for your reader what exactly this character is doing in your story. Why are they there? So let's talk a little bit about traditional mystery writers, because we have a special challenge because a mystery contains several suspects, but only one is the villain. So each of these suspects needs to be distinct, and their character role is suspect, right? How you want to keep it clear, and also you want to keep your characters distinct. So say your protagonist is torn between 2 love interests. You want to make them very distinct so the reader understands that when your protagonist is with that character, this type of interaction is going to happen, and when they're with the other character, another type of interaction is going to happen. And, of course, because we're writing mysteries, a character can have more than one role. And, for instance, can be a love interest and a suspect. So, character role is very important about the context of where they fit in the story, at their role, what they do, how they move the story forward. Creating characters for entertainment's sake just doesn't make your story cohesive. So make sure your character has at least one definite role in your story, and possibly 2. So knowing your character and how their role fits in the story is a guiding principle as you're writing your story. And whether you're a pantser or a planner, the same thing holds true, that the character role is so important. When you know it in your head, you can provide details and get those suspicious moments that make your suspect very suspicious, even if they aren't the villain. And you can change a shy girl to an aggressive girl, but their role stays the same. So if you want to change a character's personality a bit because you think it's going to enliven your story, that's okay, because their role is what really matters in the overall story picture. So as long as you know the context of your character, you can write confidently as you create your story scene by scene. All right, I hope that helps, because character context really keeps you on track and keeps your story lively and keeps your reader from being confused and helps them enjoy the mystery of your mystery. Okay, so if you're new to Write a Killer Mystery, be sure to click the subscribe button below and the little notification bell so you won't miss any episodes and tips about writing a killer mystery. Until the next time, write a killer mystery.